What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got a Chicago Bulls and Philadelphia 76ers game reaction in which the Bulls delivered one of their biggest wins of the season, an absolute destruction, a massacre in this game. The Bulls were the ones that walked away on top, snapping, I believe, a 6-game losing streak and ultimately leaving more questions than answers. But this time, it's not for us. It's about Philly. You know what? This might be a video where I purely talk about the Philadelphia 76ers because they intrigue me right now. And I don't really know what to do, what to think about their team and their current assessment. But, of course, we'll leave that for a little bit later. Let's talk about the Bulls. Let's talk about this game. And let's talk about the positivity that reigns through in this video. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their game today, and your player of the game as we win this one 142 to 110. I'm very positive this is our largest win of the season. I don't think we've had a better win than this in that regard. And to do it against Philly, who is a direct rival for our playing tournament spot, well, I mean, for some people, that is going to be the worst result possible. But for most, it's going to be a result to be very happy with. And, of course, I love to see this Bulls team win. I understand we're in a situation where we need to tank or we need to lose, whatever you want to call it. But it's never a nice feeling to see your team lose. I can respect a tough loss, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. And in this regard, I like winning. And I like when the Bulls win. So, in that regard, it is as simple as that. It's like any competitive sport. You want to see your team win. You want to be a part of the winning side. So it's nice to see the Bulls win, and to do it in this way is pretty impressive. First and foremost, not one bad quarter for the Bulls today. We had a 40 points third quarter. We had a 36-point second quarter, and we had a 39-point first quarter. That speaks volume to the offensive firepower we brought to the table today. And you're looking based on individual stats, they are outrageous, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off. Firstly, before we get into that, there's actually two things I want to get into. We'll get into the sad bit here. Lonzo Ball did leave this game with an injury. He actually played really well in the first quarter. I think he left halfway through or maybe at the beginning of the second quarter. We don't necessarily know what the reasoning is yet. All that we do know is that he left on his own accord. He left with his own power. It's not like he was carried to the locker room or he needed help or assistance with going to the locker room. It could be just a minor thing. It could be a major thing. The thing with Lonzo Ball is, at this point, it's very unpredictable. So let's hope for the best with Lonzo Ball. The last thing we need and the last thing he needs, because he's had such a great return, is to see a big injury that takes him out for a year or so. Let's hope it's something minor, if anything, and we wish Lonzo Ball the best. Let's move on to the second thing here. We had a lineup change, ladies and gentlemen. We actually benched, in my opinion, the guy that should be taking the reins of the Chicago Bulls this season. I really believe that. Well, we actually benched Coby White to start Kevin Huerter. Now, I completely understand why this change happened. Because Kevin Huerter is someone that can bring a different dynamic to the offense. And at the end of the day, with someone like Josh Giddey, who's playing out of his mind right now, to have a guy like, I guess, Bazelis that can do a little bit of everything offensively for you. Had a great 17-point night. Kevin Huerter can move off the ball and be dangerous. He can also be a very viable catch-and-shoot threat. And you got guys like, eventually Vucevic with that pick and pop and that pick and roll. It brings dynamic. Whereas with Coby White, I think he's our best shot taker and our shot maker. I think it's as simple as that. But if you're looking for offensive flow, I mean, I'm not saying Coby White doesn't bring that to the table, but I think having him lead the second unit could be an interesting idea. And I'm intrigued by this because I really feel like Coby White should be our best player, but it looks like we're heading in a different direction in that regard. And I'm excited to see what comes of that. And ultimately, is this a short-term thing? Is this a long-term thing? With the Lonzo Ball injury, I would have to assume Coby White is going to come into that starting lineup. So I don't necessarily know what to make of it, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. He had a good game off the bench, Coby White. 15 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. Josh Giddey, again, I mentioned him. Unbelievable. 25 points, 6 assists, and 16 rebounds. Our guard. He's played guard today. He played point guard today. Our guard is our leading rebounder tonight and has been since the post-All-Star break. Our guard. We have a center. We have multiple centers. that could grab a board. But our guard, I know he's like 6'8", but I don't care. He's a guard to me. It's leading the rebounding in that area. So fair play to Josh Giddey on another great night. Zach Collins had 19 points and 5 rebounds. I'll be honest, in the first half, I didn't expect that from him. It looked like he was getting outplayed by Drummond, but he responded well. Really nice 19 points. I think that's his best game by far for the Bulls in a Bulls uniform. Of course, we talked about Matters, 17 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. I'm loving every bit of it. Julian Phillips with 8 points off the bench, really nice. Dalen Terry came out to play today with 17 points, 3 assists and 4 rebounds. And everybody else contributed as well. Javon Carter had 8. Trey Jones had 4 points and 5 rebounds with 4 assists. That's a very good production, in my opinion, from him. I'm really happy. Overall, you don't get to 142 points without a team valiant effort. And that's exactly what we showed. So how can I sit here and be upset with that? But I mentioned it before. I kind of want to talk about both team situations right now. So the Bulls emphatically beats the 76ers and make their claim for a play-in tournament spot. Now, I'm not saying Philly's out of the race, but the way that they're playing right now, you'd have to start asking questions about their team. Brooklyn are 11th, the Bulls are 10th, Philly are 12th now. So there's a big conversation that needs to be had there for all those franchises involved. Now, I don't personally think the Bulls are tanking on purpose, let's say. I know the Bulls fans want to see the Bulls lose. Some of them do. Most want to see the Bulls just kind of play their hearts out. That's what I'm in that boat. If we win, all right. If we lose, okay. But play your hearts out. Because we know you're not going to win a championship. We know we're not that caliber. But if you're going to go out there and give everything, I can't complain about that one way or another. In this situation, that could give us the play-in tournament spot. That could give us that 10 seed. Because everybody behind us right now is not good at all. And it looks like Philly are just not good. And I mentioned I want to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. Man, they remind me of the Bulls last season and even earlier this season, really. When we had DeMar DeRozan, Caruso, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and we weren't getting anywhere. They remind me of the Bulls last season in the sense of now something has to give. Because where they are right now, I understand. To me, it looks like they're holding on for one last run. That's what it looks like. They're begging for it. It looks like they're desperate for it, right? You don't sign Paul George if you're not desperate for one last run. You don't keep Joel Embiid and you keep Tyrese Maxey unless you're desperate for one last run. But that run might not come this season. It doesn't look like it. And all these changes they've done with Joel Embiid, all the changes that they did, no back-to-backs and all these things, resting him game from game. And now he has another knee injury. And you just think to yourself, when is something going to give here for Philly? Now, again, maybe Philly fans disagree with me here, but I personally think, I know the process has been a fun process. It's time to end the process. It is time to make big changes on your franchise. If I was the Philadelphia 76ers, I cannot rely on Joel Embiid anymore. I just can't. He's a fantastic player. He is. He is MVP quality. He is one of the best centers I have seen in modern heck of all time. But the guy cannot stay healthy. When push comes to shove, he will not impact winning because he's not there to impact winning. And you have to do something about that. You have to trade Joel Embiid, in my opinion. You're probably not going to be able to trade Paul George based on how much money you gave him. But Joel Embiid, there might be hope that some team is willing to take him. And I think you have to really look into that. Because the way that I see it, as long as Joel Embiid is on the team, unless he's going to play a full 82-game season one day, or 70 or something like that, Philly are not going to get close to winning. And then you have to rely that he stays healthy when it comes to the playoffs. And that has been proven not to be the case either. For someone being paid that amount of money to be the cornerstone of your franchise, if he's not there, it's very clear. Philly this season are bad because Joel Embiid has not been playing most of those games. So you got to do something. You can't leave it the same. Philly leaving it the same will be a massive disrespect to their franchise's fans, in my opinion. Something has to give. With that being said, it's tough because I enjoy Philly. I mean, I know Joel Embiid is someone that, is definitely like a crybaby type of guy. No one really likes him unless you're a Philly fan type of situation. But I've always enjoyed that process. It was a nice little meme to go on, and they went from tanking to competing. It's time to change. My player of the game is Josh Giddy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.